The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, welcome to this special webinar, Future Proofing Roadmap. Accountants prepared? Question mark. Is your firm prepared? Let's look at what's involved in undertaking the future proofing of your firm. You will have many challenges during 2018-19. These are going to include what's the fallout going to be from the Banking and Superannuation Royal Commission. It's definitely going to affect you with your relationship with your clients on superannuation, and it's also going to affect you in your financial planning activities. The government has also announced that superannuation funds only need to be audited every 3 years. What changes is this going to implement within your firm? One practitioner has told me that most of the work has obviously still got to get done, and yet some clients are already telephoning asking how much the fees are going to be reduced. Outsourcing. What's outsourcing going to do in your firm? Many accountants are now starting to outsource bookkeeping and accounts preparation and part of the income tax preparation work. Are you contemplating this? What's the effect in the marketplace of your competitors outsourcing, especially when they are then reflecting the lower costs of their operations in their fees, their charge-out rates? Is this putting pressure on you if you're not outsourcing? The continuation of commercialization of tax returns. What effect is this having on your business as pressure is placed on the pricing of tax return services? SMEs are making more demands, suggestions, requests for a different type of work to be undertaken by accountants or by someone. Are you going to be able to supply those services? There's definitely new market trends, and this has been caused by the development of software and communications. Clients can prepare a lot more of their in-house financial accounts than what they've ever been able to do before. What do these new market trends mean to the work that your firm is supplying? Accountants periodically have a problem of attracting and keeping good staff. And I sense that as the business community recovers from the current problems around Australia, that is going to become a very important issue for accounting firms. Are you supplying interesting, varied work to your team to undertake? And in lots of ways, the only way you can do that is if you've obtained interesting, varied work assignments from your clients. And to do that, you have to communicate with your clients to tell them you're interested in doing that work. You have to train your team. You have to market to your marketplace that you're interested in supplying that interesting and challenging work. Have you thought about crowdsource funding equity raising? Currently in the Senate, the government's amendments to the legislation are being debated, and hopefully the Senate will pass that legislation in the next few weeks. There is then a 6-month delay until the actual commencement of operations of that legislation. So by January, February or March of 2019, crowdsource funding equity raising by a company without having to convert to an unlisted public company could become a reality. There will be quite a number of companies eager to be first on the starting blocks to raise capital. Some of these could be your current clients. Are you going to be able to supply that service to those clients? Or are you going to watch those clients go off to other accounting or consulting firms for this assistance? I think you should accept the challenge and make sure you can supply the service. And if so, you need to start getting organised now, because those clients are going to require business plan, budgets and cash flow forecasts looking at the next 3 to 4 years, information memorandum, company valuation, and an understanding from the directors of how crowdsourced funding operates, and in particular, what is the role of the crowdsourced funding intermediary. Fair bit of work to be done if they want to be ready in February, March 2019 to raise capital. And all around us, we've got disruptive technologies. What's that doing in your office? What's that doing to your clients? How are you going to be able to meet those challenges as you look to future-proof your accountancy business? So undoubtedly, there's a lot of challenges in the development of a future-proofing strategy. We believe the roadmap will help you define where you want to end up and assist in planning your journey. What's got to happen within your firm to be able to come out a stronger and more efficient firm at the end of this process? What training is going to be required by partners and team members to ensure that you complete the future-proofing journey intact as a strong, vibrant, modern accountancy business? The Comback Accounting Market Pulse report in June identified a number of service lines outside of traditional accounting taxation services that their review had identified that some accountants were investing in. And this is great. Business advisory services, management consulting services, risk management, private equity services. ESS BIZTOOLS can supply you with product packages to assist you to implement each of these items to your clients. 64% of the firms that were surveyed by the CommBank review identified that they were pursuing organic growth, whilst 44% of the number identified also indicated they were developing new services. What services are your firm creating? So where do you start with future-proofing your accounting business? Our suggestion is you implement the 8 steps to future-proof your accountancy business. Step 1, implement a future-proofing strategy. Identify a range of new services that your firm could introduce. This is paramount. You need to identify the new services. And the big advantage of all this is you don't need a license. You don't have to deal with ASIC or anyone else. You can start offering these services. So the first item I wanted to talk to you about is the debtors management review, because this will assist your client in their management of their cash flow. And one of the biggest areas is to reduce debtors days outstanding. Next area is the SME debtors manual. This is a written debtors manual that you can customize so that your client has a written debtors system that the poor person, I always call them the poor person, that has to administer debtors in your client businesses, has some sort of process to follow. not notes that have been affixed to a computer screen and other hand-me-down verbal and written notes over the years from whoever was the previous incumbent in that position. Personal Property Securities Register. This will assist you to talk to your clients about insuring their businesses, about a left field calamity, because things can go wrong, especially if your client is storing assets on someone else's premises, has stock stored in other premises, has consignment stock situated in various locations. Or if your client is a tradie or a subcontractor who is in the habit of getting progress payments, because that category is a high risk category for falling into problems with liquidators in the unfortunate event that one of their customers has had a liquidator appointed, and the liquidator then decides to pursue some of the suppliers, contractors to that business with a claim that they received preferential payments. Now, I know you can fight preferential payments, but that takes time, money, and a court appearance, whereas that drama could have basically been avoided if your client had paid $6.40 for a 7-year registration for that particular customer on the Personal Property Securities Register. You need to have that discussion and set up that safety net for your clients. Personal Property Security Register is a very important work. Corporate governance, assisting company directors of small, medium enterprise companies to understand their duties and responsibilities as a company director. And that's going to become very important as some of our smaller companies embark on the journey to be able to raise capital from the public, because invariably there will be some more experienced people appointed to boards of directors as this process starts up. You wouldn't want your client embarrassed because they don't really understand how directors' meetings operate, would you? This is a role that you can assist them with. Chief Financial Officer Services. I think this is a service that you should be proposing to any client who has a turnover in excess of $2 million per annum, or who is aspiring to be able to raise capital as a crowdsource funding company, early stage innovation company, or under Section 708 of the Corporations Act. Or is someone that aspires to be a successful business. Their turnover at present might be less than $2 million. You can use the technology and communications that are now available to be able to deliver a virtual CFO service to your clients. Early stage innovation company. Have you got clients who have developed new products, processes, or services? Do you know if they've done that? Because my observation, having been closely involved in government grant programs over the years, is that a lot of the developers of new products, processes, and services haven't told their accountants about it. One way to unearth these people within your current clientele or within your prospects is to talk about it on your website, produce a newsletter, and then run a seminar and see who turns up, who's interested. Because these companies will also require mentoring on investment readiness, but they also require a set of documentation which will convince potential investors to invest in that company, because they obtain some taxation benefits and they will want to make sure that they're locked in. And if the company is relying on its assessment as an early stage innovation company under the principles test, there needs to be an application submitted to the Australian Taxation Office for a ruling. This is work for you to be doing. You need to understand the entire process. Business plans. Well, business plans are like maps for tourists. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to know when you get there? And more importantly, how can you take remedial action during the journey if something's gone wrong? Something's gone wrong in the business. So the role for you is to help clients to document where they're going. Crowdsource funding, equity raising. Currently, the private company needs to convert to an unlisted public company. It only costs $78, but some people don't really want to do that. The government is proposing to change the legislation. It's been passed by the House of Representatives. It's currently in the Senate. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, the Senate will pass that legislation, which will enable a private company without becoming an unlisted public company to be able to raise up to $5 million every 12 months if the market supports them. These company directors are going to require mentoring on getting investment ready, understanding the entire process. Great work for accountants to undertake. Succession planning. Thousands of baby boomers are planning to retire. They will be looking around to make sure they've developed an effective succession plan. Have you undertaken a review of your clients to determine the demographics of your clients? Who might be in this age group? Could be people over 50, 55 years of age who are contemplating going into this retirement phase. They will all need assistance on their succession planning. And incidentally, they will also potentially need assistance on selling their businesses because there's a lot of businesses for sale at present. So that was to give you some idea of some of the services, and there are more, and we're going to cover those in future webinars on this subject. So having identified the products or services that you might offer as a new age accounting firm, you then need to identify the clients. Our suggestion is you prepare a services and clients matrix. Write down the services that you're prepared to provide to your clients and go through and look for the clients who have got attributes that might line up to one of those services. And then you need to have a conversation with those clients. Go for a cup of coffee. Invite them in for a cup of coffee or a luncheon or a seminar to make them aware that you have identified them as being someone that could benefit from these services. This is part of the marketing effort that accountants are going to have to do if you have not been active in this space beforehand, because your clients probably think that all you're interested in doing is taxation, because that's what SMEs tell me. When I say to them, why aren't you talking to your own accountant about having a business plan prepared that's been funded by a government grant? The normal answer I get for that type question, and I ask that quite regularly, is, oh, our accountant only wants to do tax returns. When I say, if you ask them, they say, oh, no, not worth wasting my time. That's all they ever talk to us about. Their newsletters are just full of taxation. I've never heard that they've helped anyone raise capital. Food for thought, I would have thought. Step 3, train your accountancy and marketing team as to what all this is about. This involves training them in business advisory or commercial products. This is different to taxation. This is really about business performance. It encompasses some marketing, some selling skills, and the role as a chief financial officer. At CFO, and I was one for a 10-year period of my career, involves a lot more than taxation, I can assure you. Debtors, stock turns, capital expenditure, key performance indicators, the long-term vision, keeping the board of directors happy with reports and analysis, what's happening in currencies, especially if you're an exporter or an importer, whole range of things. And many of your clients are looking for that service as well. This will require some leadership training, and within our system we have a complete section on leadership. There are 8 modules within leadership that have been designed by an external expert in leadership training for small, medium enterprises. And your team who are going to be involved in this process will improve their performance if they have undertaken the leadership training course. And please use the SME needs analysis, and I'm going to show you that shortly, because this is a menu of services that you can supply to your clients to get them thinking about what sort of services they would like you to provide to them. Most of your clients don't want to go to another accountant or a consultant to do some of this advanced work. Most of them are rather sad at doing that. But they need you to tell them that you can do this work. And then, of course, you're going to perform. Training, then briefing all of your staff. Very important. Tell your entire team, your receptionists, your admin people, what your proofing strategy is about, your future proofing strategy. They have got to be able to talk the talk. The receptionists and anyone having dealings with clients or prospects to tell them what your firm is doing. Next step, number 5, series of small seminars, webinars. I like small seminars so that you can communicate with your selected clients on the new range of services. So this whole process starts with your A-class clients. Select them into groups of no more than 10 businesses. That might get you 20 or 25 people turn up for the seminar. Have 3 or 4 of your team there so you can talk the talk to them and communicate with them. And then in 4 weeks' time, have another group of 10 businesses. What you achieve by this is you're able to talk to them on a one-on-one basis, so they feel very important. Secondly, when we talk about follow-up, you've only got 10 businesses to follow up. And thirdly, if 40 to 50% of those businesses immediately commit to a task, say a business plan, you're still going to be busy, but it's a lot better than having 100 firms turn up at a seminar and 40%, 40 of them indicate they want a business plan prepared. You would be extremely busy and probably be under a great deal of stress. One-on-one meetings with clients, I just alluded to that. Within 1 week of the seminar, you must strike while the iron's hot. You've had these clients together for 70 minutes. You've talked the talk about what services you're going to be able to provide to them. Make an appointment. Send them the SME needs analysis and then sit down and talk to them, probably for around 2 hours. If I was doing it, I wouldn't charge them for that 2 hours, but that's up to you, because I honestly believe you will generate a significant amount of work out of those meetings that you can look at that 2 hours as being marketing expenditure. But please do it within a week. Send them the SME needs analysis beforehand. Show the SME needs analysis to them at the seminar so that they understand what this document is. They'll be expecting it. Better still, why not hand it to them as they're leaving the seminar, and tell them you want them to go through and make some notes on the services they would like, so that when you talk to them in a week's time, their brain's in gear. They've been thinking about all this for a week. They've had the seminar. They've got the SME needs analysis. And this is going to help to identify the services that your clients want, and more particularly, that they are prepared to pay for. So it's no use making submissions to them about things that they're not interested in. They won't be very happy about paying for those. So let's target on the things that they want. Step 7, implementation. The accountancy profession, I think, has got a lousy reputation when it comes to business advisory services, commercial services, in one very important area, and that's implementing. This work has to be done promptly. Consulting clients are not going to be as laid back or accept delays for months like some of your clients do for their taxation returns. That's not the way they work. If they want a business plan prepared, they want to know that you're well and truly involved very quickly. They want to see some action. They want you to be running think tank meetings with them and their teams. So don't delay. I've already told you that. Step 8, let's look at the ongoing marketing that's going to be required, because that's one of the other big issues. I think it's very good, the number of websites accountants have now got. They look good, a lot of them. They're varied, but you've got to keep them up to date. I've had people tell me, oh, don't worry what we've got on our website, it's not right or it's not current. That's no good. It needs to be currently correct all the time. So you need articles on the website. You need to refresh it. Don't have things about what you were going to do in 2015 on there, as I saw the other day when I was looking at someone's website. That is ancient history. Social media. We can't live without it now, can we? Especially the young ones. But let's be serious. A lot of businesses now use social media. So what are you doing in communications via social media? Brochures. If you're using brochures, make sure they reflect your current message about what you're doing. These days, it's very easy to produce videos. We produce 3 a week in our office, and we're using a mobile phone to produce the videos. See, I'm telling you some trade secrets now. It's very easy to produce videos that you can send the link to your clients, perhaps specific clients in an area, for them to have a look at. Or you place them on your website. Why not present webinars like we're doing at present? Again, it might be for a group of clients that you think have a particular requirement to be looked at. ESS BizTools can assist you to future-proof your firm. We've been working towards this climax for quite a long while, trying to develop material that accountants can use, as more and more accountants are facing up to the reality that tax returns are becoming a commodity product. So adopting this future-proofing roadmap will make your clients happy, because in survey after survey over the last 15 years, clients have been identifying that they require a broader range of services made available to them. And your team will be happy. They'll be doing work that's got some variety attached to it, a bit different to doing tax returns all day. And I know tax returns are important, and for most of you, tax returns are still going to generate 70 to 90% of your income. I'd like to think it's all going to end up below 70%, maybe 60 to 70% in the next 3 to 4 years. But your team will get a bit of variety. And as one young lady said to me a few years ago, thank you, I'm now doing real accounting work. Are your young accountants able to say that? And this activity will also create new income streams for your firm. Deloitte released a very interesting report 5 years ago, which looked at digital disruption and their suggestion as to how the key group, which included accountants, could overcome the problems that digital disruption was forecast to be bringing, was that accountants needed to create new income streams. For most accountants, the material that I've mentioned today, the product packages, would generate the creation of new income streams for firms. So you can go straight away to www.essbiztools.com.au and look at the products that are available from ESS BizTools. There's a wide range of material, 550 articles targeted at SMEs that you can badge and send to your clients, 35 pre-prepared seminars or webinars, 13 client mentoring packages, 23 product packages, and we've talked about some of the product packages in this webinar today, and other material. So if you want to know more, you can visit our website, and there's the web address. You can take advantage of the new financial year promotion that we currently have running, and this expires on the 30th of September, 25% discount. You can get started on this wonderful journey to deliver a broader range of services to your clients for only $1,493 plus GST. And that will give you 24/7 access per office for 12 months. And within this special promotion, you will also receive 3 60-minute webinar or Skype mentoring sessions to assist in the implementation of your strategy. We don't want you to subscribe to our products and then in effect put it in the bottom drawer and forget about it. We want it to be alive, creating interesting services for your clients and interesting work for your team. And we're committed to assist you by delivering a lot of mentoring time over the year. You can also log on now to get a free guest login for 30 days. And there's a free webinar, Future Proofing Roadmap, Accountants Prepared, and you're listening to it at present. You can register for future free articles. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us, peter@essbiztools.com.au, or telephone me on 1-800-232-088. I'd love to hear from you. I'm just going to show you some of those products that we talked about so that you can find them. Within ESS BizTools. So this is the website. There are free articles there. As you can see, the promotional banner coming up. Just remove that. So there's products on budgets and cash flow forecasts. Business advisory services introduction. That's the product you should start with. business evaluation workshops. This is a detailed evaluation, 43 key sections evaluating the business. So we might go to the learn more for budgets and cash flow forecasts. That's the promotion on the 25% discount. You can just go back to where we were. So there is a video, there is a webinar on budgets and cash flow forecasts. There's a summary of what's included. Our main emphasis is to have individual budget forecast material for retailers, trades and professions. And there's a summary there of what's included and what's not included. So that's what's in that system. And then there's some comments on the individual packages that you could read. So you can go on and read all this now on our site. Please do so. There are some business health check programs there that we've developed. There is business planning. Again, we'll click on learn more. And there is a summary of the process relative to the business planning process. And you can read more. So I'm just going to show you the total material here so you understand what the components within the package are. You've got each of those. Then you've got the business health checks for 5 separate industries. And we've got business planning, the Business Plus only newsletters, which are a newsletter that our subscribers are able to badge and send to their clients. Buying a business, cash flow management, crowdsource funding, Chief Financial Officer Services, Debtors Management, Early Stage Innovation Company. ESS Biz Grants, which is available either as a standalone product or it is part of the Gold subscription. Leadership modules, Personal Property Securities Register, Selling a Business. The Debtors Systems Manual. This is a standalone manual that's available. We have strategic business mentoring, which is primarily work involved in a partner performing finance director type work for a client, and succession planning. And as well as that, you have the ESS papers that I referred to before. Currently there's about 550 papers. There are 35 business seminars. There are 13 client mentoring and coaching modules. And you also get the publishing rights if you're a Gold subscriber. You can publish our papers in a secure section on your website. And that's just confirmation of what's there. So that's the overview of the ESS BIZTOOLS products. We really believe that this collection of resources will assist you to develop a future proofing strategy that will enable your accountancy business to meet the challenges of 2018/19. You can also find on this dates for future webinars that we're conducting. There are our blogs and accountant minute articles which are being produced each week. So you can go onto the site and read any of these at any time, and there is a video for each of those blog articles. And this one was also titled 8 Steps to Future-Proofing Your Accountancy Business. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to contact me. But I would really issue a sincere invitation to you to log on to our website, www.essbiztools.com.au, and take your time to work your way around the system. If you want a 30-day free trial, please apply for it. And then I look forward to hearing from you on your comments or questions. Have a great day. Good luck with your future proofing journey within your accountancy business. Goodbye.